Hello, my friends, family, I think colleagues. Uh, there was a discussion after my article about urine therapy, and of course, proponents of urine therapy uh, get a little agitated, claiming how urine is doing fabulous things. That urine is the elixir of life. That it's that kidneys distill the liquid, and this is the healthiest stuff to drink. Well, I'm trying to open eyes of people. There are beneficial effects, what we call beneficial effect, medicinal effects that are achieved through using urine. But the same as any other medicinal remedy, the action is not because it supports cellular health and healing of the body in this way. Actually, it is the contrary to this, which also in certain situation shows benefits. But so does any medicinal remedy. And it does it by either suppressing the symptom. So the symptom that we call disease is eliminated. And we think, oh, well, it's healthy for the cell, for the body. It's helping body to heal. Well, it is suppressing symptom, which means the symptom did not really leave the body. It's not the cause of the symptom, did not leave the body. And sooner or later, it will come out again, or because all these symptoms we have are product of toxicity. And toxicity is out of tune frequencies which become resistors, electric resistors in the energetic flow of our body. And of course, it is going to show changes of symptoms. Now, what I'm trying to say here is, for example, in a discussion on one of the channels, was that people washing their face with the urine, the skin improves. But one in particular was, yeah, the urine is definitely healthy because, again, there is a claim that urine contains also mother cells. Well, it may not. But even if it contains a mother cell, well, it's a negligible amount compared to how many of them you have circulating in your blood constantly. So we are using science that we are being indoctrinated with and try to make science out of it. Well, you cannot use thing that creates problem as a base of solving your problem. It's impossible. You're always going to be led in a dark corner that there is no way out. And we make wrong conclusions. So there was a case described that there was an injury on a face, big scar, and by making urine therapy on this damaged place, gauze and putting urine on it and keeping it soaked with urine, then the face healed rapidly and no scar. Well, I had once, I had a problematic car, and when I was checking the temperature, the cap was, I don't know, not the radiator cap was not properly put in, and it exploded. It popped out, and my hand, which was close, and I had a glove because I always love to drive with the gloves, got soaked in this extremely hot water, which is pressurized, so it's more than 100 degrees. And I could not take the glove quickly off because as the water was gushing, there were people around and they would get burned. So I put my hand over to prevent people being sprayed with this. And with the other hand, I found a cap and I placed the cap back on and closed the radiator. By the time I took the glove off, well, the skin was white. It was a third-degree burn. And it was burning as hell. I'm not screamer, just my eyes, my tears were coming out from a pain. And all I did, I took colloidal silver and put colloidal silver on the hand. I did not have anything hot to put my hand close. I would be too late anyway. It was already, skin was deteriorated, so the additional dry heat would not help it. So, same situation. And then we got cream against burn, which has colloidal silver in it, and put it on and I wrapped my hand with it. And then later on, I was adding through the gauze just colloidal silver. And my hand healed rapidly and zero scars, nothing. Okay, so, but putting urine, well, now why did urine help to heal faster? Well, if you put irritant on the skin, the body is going to want to shield itself. Skin does not heal from a surface down. It doesn't heal from epitel towards endothel. It's the opposite. It heals from the endothel, which means from within out. And from within, it's not receiving what is coming from the outside. It is receiving what is coming from the inside. So it is healing by influence of blood and lymph. More blood because the lymphatic system was basically burned out. Now, why would healing be faster when you put urine on the outside? Well, because urine is toxic. Again, a lot of people say, "Oh, urine is elixir. Urine is this distilled liquid through kidneys." Well, kidneys are not distillers. Kidneys don't distill jack crack. Okay, kidneys eliminate surplus and toxic elements, of which a lot of them are acids. This is why urine is acidic. It eliminates the cellular released acids. Now, why now, when you put the urine on the outside, why does skin heal faster? Because there is an irritant, and the body is designed to react to irritant with increased blood circulation to resolve the situation faster. So you speed up the circulation because irritant is coming from the outside. Body is sheltering itself. It is programmed to heal itself and to defend itself, to cleanse itself. Well, people say, "No, but it's a healthy liquid." Well, how can it be healthy? I witnessed one idiotic surgery being done on a dog. Well, I witnessed the consequences. The surgeon was removing something and in a penile area of the dog, and then stitched it without leaving opening for urination. And now the urine accumulated, and because of its toxic and acidic value, it is not creating a water retention, which normally would happen if you have bodily liquid accumulated in area. But what it created actually is inflammation and necrotic action of the tissue to break the tissue, to break the skin, so this toxic stuff can come out of the body. Body always reacts. It's a program, the robot. So this is how it will react. For example, if you stick a piece of wood, everybody had experienced probably the stuff that, you're working with a wood, and then you have a piece of wood that pokes in and breaks off, and now you have inside of the skin this wood. If you don't take it out, if you leave it there, because you cannot take it out, it broke off and you cannot get to it, and you leave it there, the area where inflame itself, it becomes necrotic, and it pushes the splinter out. It's painful, so it's better always to try to take the splinter out and let it heal. But if you can't, or if you didn't notice, then when the process of the body starts of inflaming, which means increasing blood circulation in the area and causing forced hydration, and at the same time, in this case, it causes through forced hydration, through the inflammation, it causes pressure with which it's pushing out the splinter from the skin. Well, the same thing is going to happen with the urine. So it is not what you think it is, healthy elixir, because this would not happen. Body would reabsorb it. But why is it pushing this liquid out of the body through urination, even when we are low on blood plasma, even if we are dehydrated? Why is it pushing out? You can be thirsty as hell, and you have to urinate. Why? Because there are toxic stuff or surplus that body has to eliminate, and it is eliminating them. And now you take this toxic stuff, and now you say it's a healthy elixir of life. I'm sorry, but you must be moron. You just don't understand. And then you start making claims, which is typical scientific method. We don't understand, so we make our stories, and all of a sudden, from a fly you make an elephant that flies. Well, my friends, it doesn't work this way. Just use the Google. We got to think, not just follow someone's rhetoric and having what I call childish reaction to it, like a child. So we have to understand a little bit how the body works, and we have to think of it in a constructive way. Again, every medicinal remedy is toxic. Every single one. I'm often being asked about honey. Oh, honey, is it okay to eat every day? Because it has medicinal properties, it heals. You put it on the skin, it will heal. Yeah, medicinal, you have your answer. It's toxic, slightly toxic. Doesn't mean that you cannot have it, but you should not have it daily. Now, what makes it toxic? Because it's basically fructose. Well, what makes it toxic is the pollen. Pollen is a plant protein. plant proteins do not jive with our body. So it will have medicinal properties that we can use to suppress symptoms. If you know, it depends on honey from what plant it is. Here in the jungle, I'm in the Amazon jungle, so there are a variety of honeys. Some honeys are very acidic, some are bitter. It all depends on what plant was used to produce honey and what protein is there. So same is with anything else. Now, people with the urine therapy, I always say urine. What is urine? Number one, urine is plasma because it comes out of the body. Body does not hold water. Body holds water in electroconductive state, which is achieved through ion action. And these ions are salts, are minerals. And there are not only 3 of them. There's not only sodium, chlorine, and potassium. There is 85 different elements, minerals. All of them we find in the seawater. Seawater is plasma. You can replace blood with the seawater, dilute it a little bit because it is overly saturated with these minerals. Rene Clinton was doing this 100 years ago. He was healing people by bleeding them and replacing their blood with what he called sea plasma. He took a seawater, strained it, mixed it with distilled water 3:1 to get the dilution of the minerals close to dilution of minerals in the blood. Blood contains about 9 to 10 grams of salt per liter of blood. Seawater about 30 grams per liter. So dilute it 3:1 and you get your mixture. And he was healing all diseases, all diseases. Now we don't have to bleed ourselves. We can just ingest the plasma and body is going to absorb it and will start cleansing out without you cutting yourself. But sometimes cutting is much more effective because the capacity of a detox of the body is very, very low. We detoxify slowly. We lose a lot of plasma to be able to take out few toxins. The reason for it is that blood has to be clean. Because as soon as blood is toxic, we have very strong symptoms. And I mentioned many times what symptoms of toxic blood are. Starting from headaches, starting from blurred vision, foggy brain, general tiredness. All the symptoms of chronic people or chronic diseases that usually elderly people have. Why? Because they are severely dehydrated and their blood is a little bit more saturated with toxins. It cannot be saturated because we die. We get muscle aches, we get joint pains, all because of increased toxicity of the blood. As long as toxins are in a tissue or in the cells, we hardly even know that they are there. It is when they come in the blood. And only through blood, through mucosal tissue, but again, first blood or skin, again, first blood has to be there to push the stuff out. And whenever it's pushing it out, we lose plasma. Sweat is plasma. Sweat is salty. Urine is plasma. Urine is salty. Excrement is plasma, has plasma in it, has saltiness in it. We lose minerals all the time. And the biggest trick that the Cabal had on us was telling us, keep away from salt. Salt is going to raise your blood pressure and it's going to kill you. It's going to destroy your kidneys. Yeah. So we stop using salt. Then we stop eating food that is full of salt, which are animal meat, fats. They're full of salt. Animal cannot survive without being properly mineralized. We are made out of mineral. Plants are made out of sugar. Different type of animal. But by not providing minerals, we are harming ourselves. So of course, especially if you're a plant eater and you get very few minerals in your body, and then you don't even drink a lot of water, but you drink teas which are toxic by themselves, made out of plants. They say, well, the tea, caffeine is toxic, but there are tea without caffeine. And no matter what tea you drink, after you drink the tea, you feel dry mouth. Why? Because body right away wants to detoxify. It's asking for plasma to be able to do so. And since it is being absorbed through mucosal tissue into the body, the toxic elements now kidney immediately wants to eliminate. So it has diuretic effect. Every tea, chamomile tea, hip rose, the flower of Jamaica, every tea is toxic. Not very much, slightly, but enough to interfere with cellular activity. If nothing more, it causes cells to cringe the membrane a little bit, to make their cellular openings that go through the membrane of the cell to tighten them up a little bit. So there is a less flow of lymph in and out of the cell. less cleansing being done. It can even stop it. Some stronger ones stop it completely. So we just have to understand how the body works. And again, toxin. It's not only what you eat. It's not only what you drink or what you inhale. It is also what you receive from the outside. The sound, bad sound. To me, modern music, not all of it, but most of it, is a sound pollution. This comes into the body. First, it's tuned wrongly. We should be tuned to 432 hertz, but the music is coming 440. Why? Because the demonic cabal bribe musicians to retune their instruments. So you listen to modern music, you are affected with the wrong toxic sound, out of tune sound. It's out of tune with your vibration, with vibration of creation. Same you do when you cook food. You are changing the vibration. From a healthy food, you're making toxic stuff. We should eat raw food. And if you eat raw food, then you quickly understand which raw food is healthy or not. Because if you eat raw vegetables, very quickly, you are going to first become very skinny, pale, fragile, and then symptoms of chronic dehydration and toxicity start occurring. There's plenty of it on the internet. You can check. Unfortunately, there is this always movement. People, when they get into something, then they start promoting it and they start neglecting everything else. They only point on stuff that supports their claims and never show anything else than that. And there is plenty of the other stuff in there. I'm not saying that urine therapy is bad. No, it's good, but understand it's a medicine. And there are better ways to deal with things sometimes than using urine. But even when you use urine, then you don't do it daily. You don't for prolonged time. You don't, every time you take medication and you take it forever, you are dehydrating your body because on a cellular level, you are creating problems. So yeah, you can use urine therapy. You get burned. You want to use urine, use it. You're going to heal. Definitely you're going to heal faster than if you don't. But you're going to smell. You're going to stink. Isn't it better to use colloidal silver? Now, colloidal silver is not medicinal. So how come it heals? Because silver is extremely good electric conductor. So it increases the electroconductivity. Energy flows faster. And this is what you need for healing, energy. So there's always better option than medicinal option. But even if you don't know about the other stuff and you know about urine, okay, use it, but don't make false claims. Oh, it's natural antibiotic. Why? Because you see, there's no infection. It suppresses infection. Bacteria do not cause any infection. Zumzula, that starts with V, that we cannot talk about because the channel will be erased. And those things are created to combat them. So the Zumzulas, urine therapy, destroy Zumzulas. Zumzula doesn't exist. There's nothing to destroy about Zumzula. We are so misled that the doctors will tell you, whoa, the cause of your burning when you urinate, you have bacterial infection because they found bacteria, because your body is eliminating bacteria. Well, in which way does bacteria cause burning sensation? What causes the burning sensation? Acid. So when your body is eliminating overly acidic stuff, and if it is not properly hydrated, and it's saving plasma in the body, then it is not going to allow just this urine to flow. It will hold it until more toxins come in. So efficiency of detox is increased and less plasma is being wasted. Well, urine becomes overly acidic. And these acids are what is burning you. You can have also the same sensation defecating. Your anus is going to be in fire. Not because of bacterial infection, because you are eliminating acids. Bacteria has nothing to do with it. And how come we put antibiotic, we kill bacteria, and the burning slows down or disappears? Well, most antibiotics do not kill bacteria. They, at best, they prevent their multiplication. There's still bacteria left in the body. And the sensation of burning has stopped. Why? Because you are putting additional poison in the body that now stops detox process. Closes the cells, nothing comes out, you eliminate whatever was already released, and the burning sensation goes away. You stop, we are being told, 7 days you have to do it. Yeah, you have to really make sure that the cells are well closed and everything is eliminated before you stop poisoning the body with antibiotics. But all these toxins are still there. And first opportunity the body will have, again, it's going to try to take those acids out. Doctors, colleagues, wake up. Don't just blindly follow or repeat nonsense we are being shoved in our brains during the indoctrination process. Our brains are full of crap. We have to eliminate this stuff and start thinking how the body really works. What is actually happening here? So, most of the benefits of drinking larger quantities of urine is because you are drinking plasma. Body eliminated the surplus, but it lost a lot of ions. And now you are bringing these ions back, but you're also bringing the toxins back. So body will have to deal with this. It goes into defensive mode. It tightens up, closes down. Symptoms starts going away because you are closed down. But you are not healing. You are patching stuff, having relief, temporary relief. It's all going to explode again as soon as you stop. But since you don't stop, and you continue drinking it, so your body is closed down, your cells are going to get in worse and worse shape, same like what happens to vegans from plant poisons. For years you can be okay. Well, look at my skin. You're not releasing. You cannot be clean and not have any symptoms in a toxic environment, eating the toxic food that is being given to us and drinking the toxic liquids. You cannot be clean. And if you prevent the cleansing, well, you're doomed. Sooner or later. Why so many cancers? But here, this is it. Because we are locked in. We are locking all that crap in the body instead of letting it out. I believe that until I started disclosing these things, I believe nobody ever thought about what real healing is. What does it mean to heal? Because every time we are doing so-called detox, how are we doing it? Coffee enema. Coffee is poison. You're not doing any detox. You are helping a little bit eliminating the coffee, so it increases the blood circulation, increases the elimination process, so it makes you feel a little better, but at the same time, you have closed all the cells of your body. Because even though you put it in the colon is what absorbs liquids. And it will absorb toxin. So, use the cooler. Of course, there's a story about antioxidants. Oh, yeah, the coffee full of antioxidants. Cacao, chocolate full of antioxidants, very healthy. They're pure poisons. The antioxidants are mostly toxic phenols, toxic to us. Many people are asking me, well, should I use the oils, essential oils, they're good to put on the skin? They are not good to put on the skin. They are not good to inhale. They can make us feel nice for a short period of time, and if it's not very saturated. Someone gives you roses, not the new bred roses, they don't smell at all, but the traditional rose. They have beautiful smell. You smell them, oh, this is nice. Try to sleep in a room with roses in there. You will wake up with such a headache you have never had in your life before. It's a toxic. We just have to learn truth. So, we can go through lists. Detoxification, urine therapy, detoxifies. How? Well, it's a plasma. It will help you detoxify. It is going to close your cells. Your cells are not going to release more toxins. So whatever is in the blood, now you put some plasma, it will go out with whatever was in the blood and what you brought in through urine. You increase the toxic load, it will stimulate your elimination. Okay, so they say immunity booster. In which way? What is immunity? Immunoproteins, immunoglobulins, that's all baloney, garbage, science. The only immunity is immunity to shift frequency, because any shift of frequency in your reality is shown to you as change of your reality. So if your organ shifts a frequency, well, you will see it working in a different way. And then we can say, oh, it's a disease. Only because frequency shifted. So what is immunity? Immunity is what is going to stabilize your frequency and preventing it from shifting. And the only thing that can do this is voltage. The higher voltage stabilizes your frequency and it cannot be altered. How you raise this voltage? By being happy. But number one, by getting rid of fear, because fear is the one that sucks the voltage out, because it makes brain overly active. And brain is the huge munging apparatus of your energy that just sucks the energy out of you. Okay, so number one, we have to give out the fear, get rid of fear. But this is a tough thing to do, especially when you're sick, especially when the health professional scares you that you have a cancer. Pow! You may have a cancer of the breast, but now you are scared. Oh, you're going to die cancer. Now you think about the death, and all of a sudden you are depleting energy from your lungs, and you go into lung cancer. And then you start thinking about your family, and oh, Jesus Christ, my poor children, and you start getting pancreatic cancer because of shifting of frequency of attention. And this is how cancer spreads through the body. It has nothing to do with cancer cell going from one area and traveling and getting in another area. Remember, every part of the body has different frequency. You want to know the truth, you have to go to physics. Forget about the bullshit of chemistry and biochemistry. It's a pure garbage science. Physics is way, way closer. You start to look at the body as electronic robot, and you start checking toxin as a resistor. More resistors you have, the lower flow of energy you have, here are your problems. Your energy goes down. Every time you are down on energy, you are highly toxic in the blood, which is terrible. So we just have to understand the body. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible, but we are complicating it. I always get asked these questions. What about this and what about that? Always start from vibration. Because everything, the whole reality of ours, is created through frequencies and programs that are programmed to present this frequency as something of our reality. And it's presented either through light or senses of smell, taste, touch. This is our reality. Each one of us creates the reality. And since we are the same consciousness, it becomes known to all. Because actually, we are not separated at all. We are one unit. So, again, we have to go a little bit deeper into understanding the body, but on another level. On level of consciousness, frequencies, which are expressed through electromagnetism, or magnetoelectrism, what some people now are talking. It's just much easier to say electromagnetism. Again, it's how creation works. From consciousness, creating an illusion, creating a movement of energy, sacred geometry that is expressed then through light and magnetism and electricity, and using those to create a robot that now turns these frequencies into your three-dimensional field. Just creates particles from the light, adds senses to it, and pinga! First you have the water, then you crystallize the water and convert the crystals into actual physical objects. So you separate the waters into the hard matter. And then the life spreads from it. That's a creation described in the Bible in a slightly different way, but basically this is a creation. So, again, repetition, 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 repetition. It's all connected. I cannot talk about one thing neglecting everything else, because you get lost in this one thing, and this is how we all get lost, because we have compartmentalized everything. We make little compartments, and no, diseases, this disease is here, this is this disease. If you have one little change of this disease, this is not this disease, this is now this disease. It's all the same crap. It's all toxicity. It's all out of tune frequencies. You tune them up, your reality changes. This is the base of so-called medical beds. They scan you. They realize they have a program. This program realizes, okay, this cell doesn't vibrate correctly, this organ doesn't vibrate correctly, this tissue doesn't vibrate correctly. Changes the vibration, you come out healthy. Plus more. The program can also capture your thoughts, because they're electromagnetic waves. You radiate them. So while you are there, you can just put a picture in your mind of you being young. And when you come out of this bed, you look exactly the way you picture yourself. We have no clue what actually we can achieve using the Google, just because we have been misled. We're extremely powerful. We can do anything. Jesus told us so. You can do what I can and more, because even he had limitations. Why? Well, limitations are still connected to unconditional trust, faith. And even him on a cross said, Father, why have you forsaken me? It was for a split second he went there, but this just shows you that even he could have done much better if there wouldn't be this spark of uncertainty in him. This is very tough nut to crack. Faith. Okay, with this, my friends, I'm leaving you here to think about. Use your Google. Think. Evaluate. Love you all. God bless us all. Namaste.